to If These Walls Are Talk.
If These Walls Could Talk.
Oh my God, I can't speak. No, I can't speak. So I'm Wendy Stuart.
And I'm Tym Moss, and I'm reaching in for my phone because it has my calendar on it, and I forgot what all I've done this week.
I thought you were feeling yourself up behind you there. That's what it looked like for a
That
second.
could be
That
too.
could be too. But I can't speak because we are knee deep in the holiday season. I have to tell you, by the time Christmas rolls around, girlfriend needs a rest. This is the first year we're actually going to be doing reruns. We're going to do it for Christmas Eve and a rerun for New Year's Eve. So yeah, so this is our holiday show. And before I even get into like the amazing guest that I begged and I waited and I wanted him on so much. And when you meet him, you'll understand why.
Oh, it's
but
going to be a good show.
Wendy and Tim have been meeting themselves coming around corners. On Sunday, or was it Saturday? Saturday, I did the 12 Drugs of Christmas with the Imperial Court. Really important about using your talent to raise money, right? Mm-hmm. We raised money for the Pink Nail Society. Do you know what that is?
I don't.
I didn't either. Why didn't we know this? Because you know what they do? They raise money awareness for prostate cancer, which is absolutely through the roof right now.
Yeah.
You hear about it all the time. So they're out of Florida. And why do they call it the Pink Nail Society? It's a long story, but we had somebody painting each person's nail pink, and it was fun. Okay. And it was the 12 Drugs of Christmas. And of course, we dedicated it to our Emperor Ron from the Imperial Court. Mm-hmm. Ron passed on, and you know, it's that time of year where you just want to like embrace everybody.
Absolutely.
And what did they call it? The most wonderful time.
Well, that's what I love about this time of year is everybody is in a better mood. Everybody is kinder to each other.
Yes.
I love that. Why can't we do that all year?
You don't know. You're really onto something here. Yeah. If we ever have time to do like a campaign, a feel-good campaign, that it would be like Christmas all year round.
Absolutely.
Right. It's a generous time of the year. Last night, I was at an amazing party. One of our members of the Explorers Club, Bill Claps, is a world-renowned artist, has a very unique talent of painting with Japanese foils. And a lot of what he paints is nature. Mm-hmm. So it's a great way to, tell people about disappearing nature or whatever. But the party was really, really great. Uh-huh. We had, of course, there were Explorers Club people there. And we were just talking about George the rat guy. George, he's not a rat. George studies rats and rat behavior. Uh-huh. And he grew up in New York.
Where there's plenty of rats.
You have to be a New Yorker. Like, you're from the Midwest. I don't know how good you'd be as a student of rats. What do you think?
Oh, but I've seen my fair share in the 43 years that I've lived in New York.
Right. Living in New York and the places you've traveled. Anyway, all great stuff. Always great to see you, Tim. You're so busy this time.
Well, and likewise.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and actually this week I'm going to be out of town. I leave Monday.
I'm gonna, I go on?
My best friend Nancy, she said her birthday or for her Christmas present, she's flying me out. So I'm going out there. I'm her birthday gift this year. Ooh. And going to spend Christmas with them, and then New Year's with my nieces and nephews. And it's just going to be a really nice next couple of weeks.
Well, it's a whole family thing, which is like really, really so cool.
Because Nancy is family, definitely.
Right. And your best friend. And you guys, I love when you went to the UK together.
Oh my God, we had a ball.
They did. They had a ball. It's so much fun when people make all this social media stuff and they put it up on TikTok. You and Nancy had done a whole bunch of videos.
He did a bunch of videos.
I know, it's so fun though. God damn it, we're about having fun. I also want to give a shout out here. Friday night, I am going to see the amazing Randy Edelman at Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall.
Shout out to Eileen Shapiro, his PR person and my PR person. It's going to be a wonderful concert. He has scored just about every major.
Oh my God, so many films. Yeah.
And now, this just popped into my head. Rob Reiner, A Moment.
Oh my God.
And his wife.
How tragic.
Right.
Oh,
I know. It's like major people. You just never know. Right. So you know what? Right. Reach out, hug the people that you love, and tell them that they matter to you. So I told you we were going to have a really fun guest on here today.
This episode is going to be unlike any others.
It's going to be like off the hook. Mm-hmm. All right. So much so we had to get water to wash things down with. I'm just going to leave it like that. Sounds so kinky.
Well, water to, what is it? Cleanse our palate.
We're right. Tim said we're going to be cleansing our palates here today. Our guest today is actually world renowned. He travels all over the world. I first met him because he had a company in Brooklyn called Brooklyn Bugs. And I'm like, what is that? Our guest today is a gourmet chef. He is an insect ambassador. But you know what? More than anything, I really want to share this with people. He is bridging cultures through his amazing cooking, his speaking, his spreading the joy of what 80% of cultures around the world already know about, which is edible insects. And I have personally been to a number of events that he catered. The displays were gorgeous and they were actually tasty. Okay.
Which we also have an incredible display here.
We have an incredible display and Tim and I can't wait to dig in. Our guest said to me, make sure you come with a good appetite. So please welcome Joseph Yoon.
Hey.
Yay.
How's it going?
We are good. Look at your shirt. I'm so glad you
love this.
dressed for our occasion today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome to this show, Joseph. I'm just for a minute. Tell us about your little friends on your shirt.
Well, I just love that when my friends see anything that's bug, arachnid, arthropod related, they're like, Joseph, we must get this for you. And my friend was at a thrift store and she was like,
this is amazing.
She saw and she's like, Joseph, I hope you don't mind. I saw this and I had to get it for you. And I was like, do I mind? I freaking love
this. It is so perfect.
It is my favorite shirt.
I am living. Yeah. And Joseph did use a big word, which I want to explain. And if you haven't heard, arthropod. Can you tell people exactly?
So in the animal kingdom, the arthropods include not only insects, but also arachnids like spiders, but also crustaceans and animals like lobsters and crab and shrimp.
Okay.
Interesting.
So when we get into the idea of discussing eating insects, we're already eating sea bugs, maybe. So maybe just like a way to think about it.
So what is the word again?
Arthropod.
Arthropod, is that like with a shell?
No, it's an exoskeleton
with
or
legs.
A shell, but it's
okay.
The so for shellfish, the shell is on the outside, and it's not a part of their body, but the exoskeleton is a part of the insect.
Okay.
And so that's like the
And the pod, does that got to do with the legs? Where do the legs come in? Insects have legs. Does that definition encompass
insects? Technically have 6 legs.
Okay.
And so, but we use the term insect colloquially to also vernacularly to also include spiders and scorpions and things when we discuss like edible insects.
Right.
So, yeah.
But you cook all of it, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
I have never had a spider dish cooked by you. That's like do you do that too?
I recently cooked a tarantula.
Oh,
there we go.
When I was in Thailand. I don't know if you want me just to get into it.
I was going to ask you about Thailand and your dish over there.
Because Joseph did just
Bring
get back from give it to us.
Well, so it was
Tell
really
us how Thailand was.
Beautiful because I got to spend an entire month in Thailand.
Wow, nice.
And we got to work with a lot of different both indigenous groups and a lot of women entrepreneurs as well that are involved either in insect agriculture, edible insects. And so it's really amazing just to be there and to listen, exchange ideas, and learn and brainstorm and really ask a lot of questions. And I think that one of the things I love about traveling is that it offers an opportunity to experience something entirely different than what you're used to seeing.
Right.
And so if it doesn't push me and challenge me to think differently and to be able to really put me in a different area where I can learn and push, then it's like, why even bother?
Right.
And so I usually really spend as much time out of my hotel room. But in the case, I also spent 8 Days in the Jungle, hour and a half southwest of Chiang Mai.
Wow.
And so that was like in more of a
that was
in like an
immersive.
open air cottage sort of thing. And
how cool.
and so, but it was a really, really just
Now,
incredible experience.
Did you have any challenging culinary experiences while you were in Thailand?
Yeah.
Did you push yourself?
Yeah.
Well, so the tarantula dish was really interesting because the people that were hosting us, they're the Korean people,
right? And I will elaborate. When you see the pictures of the people with the gold rings around their neck, that's a stereotype. Yeah,
it in English we spell it like you would spell Karen, K-A-R-E-N.
That's what I was.
They pronounce it Karen or Korean. And so one of the things that they eat. And I've eaten, and they're also refugees from Myanmar, and they started immigrating hundreds of years ago and are still coming in. But one of the things that they eat is a tarantula, and
they have a specific way of preparing it.
They have ways of preparing it, but more so even catching it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right.
Wouldn't you be terrified to like go out and catch a tarantula?
How would you catch a tarantula?
Do you have a tarantula net? Or a hook?
No, a net. Well, so first you find like where the nest is.
So they dig into the ground, right?
Into the hillside.
But it's a hole.
So it kind of goes in.
So it's the hole we found was rather significant.
And it's it has a specific look to it, so that you know that it is a tarantula den.
They do.
Yeah, I did, Tim. That sucker came out of the hole when I was in Central America. Yeah. I was looking in a hole thinking it was a snake, and his furry little self came crawling out. I almost died.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that it'll be important for us to also talk about the why of eating insects and everything, but let's continue with the tarantula. And so they take like a shovel hoe and they kind of dig into the hillside,
right?
And about 3 feet in, maybe a little bit more.
So they dig in quite a ways.
They're digging deep.
Yeah. It's like 2.5, 3 feet maybe.
Wow.
And then like when they kind of feel like it's getting close, then they take more of a different tool that's a little more delicate. And they expose the tarantula, and of course it's going to be furious,
right?
Oh yeah. And so it's rearing up.
Well, now is there just one in one of these burrows?
Yeah, that's a good question.
There's only one.
Oh wow!
When they nest, she might have laid a bunch of tarantula babies, but it was
lovely.
But it was just her, and he just reaches in there and grabs her right behind the neck and thorax
with his hands.
Oh, with his hands, yeah.
This is amazing.
And to me, it's like wow, that's
a big wow.
Because this tarantula is like really, and it was huge. It was
Can you show us like with your hands?
It was about the size of my hand, right?
I would think though, Tim, it would be easier to grab if it's the size of your hand. If it's smaller,
I'm not going to be grabbing it no matter what size.
And it's also like kind of like the legs are kind of in. So, but
that's a relief that the legs are in.
The thing that to me was a little, for me, a little sensitive about this is that what a beautiful
creature. Yeah, it's a beautiful. That's what I get. Yeah, perfect creature.
Probably over 10 years old.
Oh my goodness!
Just this beautiful creature and.
Living its tarantula life.
But the respect that I have to have is that this is literally what they've been doing.
It's their culture.
Hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Exactly.
And so for me to experience it was really special.
That would be.
But this was a part that's a little. I want to give a little warning if people are a little sensitive to this.
This is a sensitive-oriented show today, so let's go for it. Yeah.
So he takes the tarantula on a bamboo and.
While it's alive,
so irritates it so that it takes its fangs out and puts it up, and then takes his machete and defang the tarantula, and so we take this like incredibly hostile tarantula, and now it's just like, well, I mean, we just like rendered it like it was essentially like
you took everything away from it. Yeah,
and so we were able to handle it and. And so it's like with great respect in order to do this. And if it were for the sensationalism and the disrespect, then I wouldn't even be involved with that.
But I have a question. Once you defang it, they've defanged it. They do that in the process of getting ready to cook it, to prepare
correct,
it to eat.
yeah.
They're not going to like throw the poor
But
thing
now-
out in the jungle after this.
No, it's because
Yeah.
waste nothing.
They went right.
Right,
That's an
yeah.
important
But now
fact,
is this done for a specific celebration, or is it a common thing that they do like once a week or so? Or is it a special thing?
It's a very special thing.
I would think
at
so.
another time, it was probably more prevalent,
Mhm.
but now they have more access to other foods that they can get.
Mhm.
And so it was a special thing, and they
We're
they
honoring
actually
you though
they,
too.
they
Yeah,
actually did it because of me.
Right.
Yeah.
But
You're
it
the
was.
honored
But
guest.
I'm just thinking that it was kind of. It's kind of like a. Oh, we have tarantula tonight. You know, like wouldn't it be like a special dish?
He actually called his grandkids to show them the tarantula,
Mhm.
Right.
and because it really was huge and beautiful. And
Wow.
so the for me, when I've prepared tarantula, depending on what species it is, a lot of times the ones that I get in South America, in the Southwest in America, where I procure them, I use a torch to remove its urticating hairs, because if you eat it, it would be incredibly problematic. The ones in Thailand they have the hairs, but they're not the same irritants, and so you don't have to do that.
That's
interesting.
That is a very interesting thing. Yeah, it's different.
And
so they can cook
yeah.
the tarantula with the hairs,
with the hairs on,
but the fangs have to be out.
Now,
right,
how did you learn to cook the tarantula? Is it boiled? Is it
so the manner that we prepared it there, we put it in aromatic water. So they put ginger, lemongrass, chili peppers, and garlic, and just kind of like blanched it. And
is that like boiling it?
Yeah. It's got blanching. It's not like you're immersing the whole thing and just like boiling the heck out of it. But it's more the idea that you'll kind of like simmer it a little bit in relatively shallow water and take it out, not to boil it until it becomes totally mush or whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
So we boil it. We blanch boil it for about 5-7 minutes, and then take it out. And to me, I think that they're so beautiful that I like to prepare them in its entirety so people can see.
Yeah, I could see how you would put it on
absolutely.
on a plate and present it.
Do you guys eat sushi?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys ever hear of a spider roll?
Of course.
Right. So they use a soft shell crab for that roll. Why don't we consider? And so the tarantula, what I like to do is actually do a tempura batter on my tarantulas.
Right.
And when I fed it to so many different chefs and people, it's like, think of a soft shell crab, and it's remarkable. They're both arthropods.
Right.
So they have a very similar flavor, actually.
Interesting. I thought you were going to say it tastes like chicken. Tarantula just tastes like chicken.
Thus far, I've never tried an insect that tastes like chicken, except for when it's boiled in oil that had a lot of chicken frying in it. And then when they fried the insect, I was like, this is literally the first insect. It tastes like chicken. It's like, oh, it was fried in the oil that we've been cooking the chicken in.
How about we try something now?
Yeah.
And then we will get back. Then we'll get back to
You told Tim and I to come with an appetite.
So
what do we say?
So the first thing that we have.
Thank you for taking care of me, Tim.
And here's some water for you.
So black ants have formic acid, which they use as a defense mechanism. And so if you think about acid and acidic flavors, what flavor do you think it would kind of have?
Acid and acidic flavors.
Yes.
But
kind of a strong
so an acidic sort of flavor, like soury flavor. And so what I made here is a black ant
I'm gonna hold it up for the camera.
Compound butter.
Oh my God.
A little difficult to see.
No, we got a good picture of it. It's on bread, and I'm bringing it
close.
And
I use like a Space Invader mold because I
love it.
I like to have fun. And so
on a Space Invader mold.
So this is kind of like ant butter.
Butter ant.
And actually it also does have cricket powder. And
with a little cricket powder.
And scientifically speaking, there's a science paper out that talks about how cricket powder is a flavor enhancer depending on what food you pair it with. And so if you want, I took this out like earlier this morning. I was walking in the cold. I don't know how easy they'll spread. If you're a big butter lover, you could just kind of take a little bite out of it. So feel free to try spreading it, or eating
Okay.
it, but maybe we could all try it. And something
Okay.
that
I might-
we
sorry.
something that we
I
like
might
to
try to
say
spread it
is
a little bit.
Yeah.
or maybe over.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Yeah. And maybe what we can say, just as a
Oh, it
little
won't spread.
pun intended,
There
is
we go.
bug appetit.
Bug
appetit.
appetit.
So-
Okay,
So
wait.
this
Let
is
me just
so
hold
this is
on.
ant butter
Yeah, this is black
Or
ant
butter
and it
with
has
a-
ramps as well.
with ramps
is a
and
with
spring
cricket powder.
and
with
cricket
cricket
powder.
powder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bon
Okay.
appetit.
bug appetit.
Mm,
Mm.
it's quite good.
Oh my god, that's delicious.
Mhm. But
It's very creamy,
it's very creamy. How do I
but
know
it
I'm?
has such an interesting flavor.
I could actually. I'm tasting. I think the cricket powder. How do I know when I've gotten the ants?
This has a very distinct flavor that is almost like a little lemony and
Mhm,
oniony,
mhm.
garlicky.
Savory.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
and the thing is, like, when you eat food, just say you love garlic. It's not like you're going to take a whole garlic clove and pop it in your
Right,
mouth. You want to
Right.
find balance and like
Right.
make something taste
Good
right,
delicious.
point.
with the aroma or the
And so I try to find a really beautiful balance. And to me, this black ant ramp compound butter is more
It's really
delicious
good.
than regular butter.
Right.
Easily for
Mhm.
me. And so that's why I try to think of not like, let me put so many black ants in there that it's the only thing that you'll taste. 'Cause
Right,
then that's
right.
too much.
Right.
you know,
It-
it's
it-
got such a nice
It
balance of
does.
flavor.
And I'm a butter person, and I have to
Oh,
tell
this
you,
is
this has got a
delicious.
kick to it, and it's very good.
I never knew I liked ants.
There you go.
Did you look like the type of kid when you were growing up might have eaten some ants in the backyard?
That is very possible. Yes.
And yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I
yeah.
wasn't usually real with creatures like snakes and insects and all of that. I
Mhm.
kind of steered clear of, but
Yeah. So you see how easy that butter is to eat.
That
I
is.
mean,
It's really
it looks
quite
like a
good.
big
Thank you.
chunk of butter, but
Well, that was
Yeah.
good. I keep thinking Joseph started off with something that was pretty tame for us because we're going to rev it up.
yeah, we're going
And
to amp it up.
We're
here.
gonna amp it up.
But, so you were. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
So you
great.
were in.
Yeah.
Palate clean. Mm.
So you were in Thailand.
Yeah.
Did you have any challenging, or did you
oh
challenge
wait,
yourself at all?
so I'll
Yeah.
I'll finish the dish that
Mhm.
we ate.
Mhm.
And so they have a dish called lob, and
Which
that's
is-
like one of the really traditional northern Thai dishes, one of their signature dishes. And it's essentially you mince up meat and add a ton of aromatics,
Mm.
and you add it with like sticky rice, or you just eat it. You eat it with like any manner of like a ton of things. But so we ended up mincing we ended up mincing that tarantula incredibly fine. And the back abdomen is just full of its like juices and so you could almost think of like foie gras or something when that explodes, because it just
It
kind of
explodes.
well, it's so juicy,
Right.
and with
Wow.
all the stomach and intestines back there.
Stomach,
And
intestines, and hairs. Okay, keep
Yeah.
going.
And so you just mince it up incredibly fine, and then you start adding all the aromatics and mix it up.
Right.
And it, like, so I had chili peppers, galangal, which is a type of it's like their version of ginger, garlic, shallots,
Wow.
It's
turmeric.
It sounds very
and
gourmet,
chili
even the
peppers,
preparing of it.
and a lot of it's like done with afterwards with the mortar and
right,
pestle.
right. They
And
kinda-
it was like really beautiful. But when I described this process to like, someone started crying because they were really upset about the way the tarantula.
Who was the person? Was it a local person or
No,
was it a
one of-
Western person
yeah,
that
like-
was with you?
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
crying over.
Well, just like when you hear about the way the tarantula and defanging it and
Right.
the preparation, it was just like very
Right.
very bothersome. And so what I try to do in those circumstances
Situations.
and really it's like understanding and empathy.
Right.
It's like, I understand that this is that this can be a little hard for you. Do you want to talk about it?
Mhm.
And I apologize. She's like, no, it's nothing that you did, Joseph, but it's just my relationship with spiders. And so
right.
I think that
Mhm.
these are like the really big things. It's like being sensitive to the way that people feel. And in sharing my work, you can imagine all the very triggered, sensational.
I was going to ask you about that.
Responses
well,
and
especially here in the West, Western world.
Most definitely.
And I like to also clarify the Anglo-Western world, because we're on indigenous land and they eat insects.
Yes, correct.
And so when we say it, I like to clarify, because there's so much perspective and history that we have to take into account of this long history of eating insects. And so I just like to put just try to think about, and so that's a really big part of what I try
you
to
talk
do.
about, bridging cultures, and obviously this person that reacted against what was happening to the tarantula would have very much been me, but I've learned from spending time with remote cultures, respect, empathy may not be my thing, but you know what, if it's too much for me, I will just walk away. But I can't judge it, because it's them, it's what they do. And it is, you said it, from the beginning of time, people have been eating insects, and somewhere along the way, and even in cultures like in Asia, it became like the poor people were doing that, right? It's not something people want to.
Well, no.
But they had that stigma to it.
Well, exactly.
Right.
That is a stigma and a trope that I am battling right now.
Yeah.
And so I want to just be very
clear on that.
And also maybe we can share like why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because like we've been talking for a while about like the whole tarantula preparation and everything.
Yeah, the process of it.
But before we go into the stigma, the why is that the UN's FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, they issued a report, Edible Insects, Future Prospects for Food and Feed Security. And in it, they talk about what is a sustainable way that we can feed the world's population. And they did not say this is a silver bullet, the only solution.
Of course,
But it's something that we can consider is, what is edible insects and insect agriculture's impact on global food systems? And how can we address sustainability, environmentalism, conservation, health and nutrition, workforce activations and livelihoods? And these are all part of the great scientific reasons of why we should consider eating something that has been eaten since the beginning of human evolution, that we know has all these positive benefits, but has these like tremendous stigmas for a lot of us here in America. And so for me, it was like that journal piece published by the FAO is my guiding North Star and principle, knowing that the science is there to potentially do so much good. But what can I do with what the skills and the abilities that I have to then maybe focus on something else besides the science, because they're doing all the science. What if I just put my colorful bohemian personality into and culinary skills into talking about the deliciousness?
Absolutely.
Then the sustainability, health and nutrition. So to flip that sort of order from like going, hey, we should eat bugs because it's sustainable, to, hey, what about a new ingredient, new for us,
in food,
with over 2,000 new species and flavor profiles and textures? And
that's what I was wondering, is there such a thing as like insect farms or bug farming?
Yes. And if we can't go out into the ecosystem and just collect all these insects and
but you've done that. You've done it with cicadas. You've gone out and collected them.
Yes. Nothing is so linear, and these are very complex questions. With cicadas, they come out en masse with evolutionary strategy of predator satiation, and they come out by the hundreds of billions, if not trillions, for the time. And so what I collect does nothing.
It does nothing to their population.
Their population.
Balance for
everything. But if we were to do that and encourage people around the world to do that, but also where's the food safety regulation?
You have to have all of
and
that.
So all the vendors that I work with, they collect, they farm them on farms. And we have everything from small sort of mom and pop farms to state-of-the-art 21st century vertical farming for insects.
For instance, wow.
And so it's like there are just so many sort of variables and ways to consider this. And so that's part of what we're trying to share is like, hey, you might think you know edible insects because you know eating, you know what insects are, but we lack the knowledge and imagination to be able to really know what it is. Like, oh, wow, that butter has crickets and black ants. And it tastes delicious. And if I just eaten it, maybe I wouldn't have known that there were even insects in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're bringing up for me the psychological aspects. I'm going to take it back to something you said earlier, the crab, right?
Yeah.
We have no issue eating crab or any of the shellfish,
shrimp.
There's like some fish I can't even eat because it's too slimy. The texture, the texture grosses me out. Oysters, you know, people love oysters. Right, you love oysters. I can't even go near them. So my question is this: how did it become that things in the ocean are totally acceptable to us, and yet you put an insect out there and people, what do you think is going to bridge that? Conditioning, cultural.
I mean, there's a lot of things. The main thing is the cultural thing, because do you really want to know what's in a hot dog?
Yeah, right.
It's horrible.
Do we really want to peer into how animals are being farmed and just the horrific conditions
to getting from the animal on the farm to in the package in the is horrifying.
A lot of the organizations when they put that stuff out there. My fabulous friend Daniel Simmons, who's a vegan, he was constantly bombarding me with things from slaughterhouses. I'm like, you just have to let it go with me, please. Don't keep sending me this. It's just upsetting me. I'm still eating meat because psychologically, now I'm gonna go have a hot dog and think about psychologically, you can shut your brain down, right? Like Tim and I, people attack hunters all the time. Tim and I are not out shooting our food. Yeah, we bring it in. We go to Trader Joe's because the prices are good.
And it's so removed, because you will buy it in probably like some kind of packaging where you don't even recognize the animal anymore.
That's the whole it's a psychological.
And we associate it with a finished plate of food.
Yes, correct.
And for a lot of people that don't know about what edible insects can look like, they still associate it with the pest that's like biting them or something in their house that they don't want.
Cockroaches,
and we're trying to think about redefining what edible insects are, where they come from, the cleanliness of them when they're being reared, the husbandry of insects, and eventually then what it can look like when it's eventually plated and how we can then enjoy it.
Well, that was for me an eye-opener. I've been at some of Joseph's events. They're so beautifully displayed.
Speaking of plated, how about we
try one more?
Okay, so this is actually,
which one
well, let's go savory again.
Okay.
And I actually didn't open this one because this is the buggiest dish that we have.
Okay, let's go for it.
And so instead of opening and having you guys look at it, I actually wanted the first reaction of you guys seeing this, because you will see a slightly larger whole insect, but it's in a dish that you guys may already enjoy.
Okay.
Guacamole?
Guacamole.
Okay.
With black ants and grasshoppers.
Okay, grasshoppers and black ants.
Okay.
Here we go. Can everybody see grasshoppers and black ants? Can I smell it?
Yeah, please. Yeah,
I want to look at it a little
bit.
Is I can smell the ant thing. Tim, it smells a little like you got that from the butter, right?
So,
oh my goodness. Okay.
I love that you smelled it, and it's actually something that I encourage for a lot of the foods. And I should have said that for the butter. Thank you, Wendy. You're on the team.
I'm on the team
because smelling informs us so much of flavor.
Absolutely.
And if you think about when you have a cold and you can't taste your food,
or COVID,
or COVID, And so that I'm so glad that you decide to smell it. So this is just very simply avocados, a little salt and pepper, and a little bit of lime, and then I put. The insects will be really what I think can let this shine a little bit. The grasshoppers are fried, have a little bit of lemon, lime, and chili and salt. And so it's
what
a
is
little flavored.
The specks?
And the specks are the black ants.
Or black ants.
Yeah, that's the black ants. So I have a question about the grasshoppers before we dig in. Where are their legs? I have a psychological thing with the legs.
They're removed. Because
the legs were removed
because of that reason.
Okay.
And not everyone will do that, but some places do, some don't. But sometimes the grasshopper's legs, they can also be a little irritating. So and if someone just like swallows it, like it could get so
they choke to death on a grasshopper.
No one is choked to death.
No, this is not a cicada.
This is not a cicada.
This is
or a cicada. Cicada is similar to a grasshopper, is it
David
not?
Attenborough says cicada, so you're totally
You say cicada, I say cicada.
Cicada.
Okay, what is in this cracker?
It's just a tortilla chip.
Just a tortilla.
Had I the time,
you see, I'm asking on this show today. I'm asking what's in.
Had I the time, I would have made this with cricket powder in it.
Oh, interesting.
With corn and
okay, here we go.
So
we're gonna go for it.
Yeah,
we have grasshopper. The legs have been removed. We have again ant eggs, right?
No, they're just the whole ant.
The whole ant is in here, and nothing but the whole ant.
Okay, bug appetit.
Okay, bug appetit. Cheers.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's got some tang in there.
I love this. Is really good.
And again, I could have added 100 grasshoppers but it's like, we want this to be a delicious experience in how we would literally eat it.
You are so good at this.
And you could
he is a gourmet chef.
And you could scoop up 2 or 3 of them if you want. Or just like the black ants, what have you. But
okay.
To me,
I'm doing another one.
In addition to the black ant,
I got a grasshopper.
Cricket ranch butter, I prefer my guacamole now with insects.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so this is one of my favorite ways to eat the guacamole. And so thank you for trying it.
Oh my God, of course. I have questions, of course. So I'm not really tasting the grass. I now can taste the ant.
Maybe try grasshopper just by itself.
Is that okay?
Tim,
oh my God, Tim took the grasshopper that I wanted. You had to do that. Okay. Let's do it by itself.
Oh, that's good. It's kind of fried.
Yeah, fried with like a little salt. So in I forget what they call it now, but in Seattle, Seiko Field, it has a new name now. They were selling the grasshoppers as a snack there and selling out every day at that over there. Yeah. So yeah.
Who knew? I enjoyed.
Are you okay?
No, the grasshopper got caught.
Did
it really?
And my throat going down. No, I'm taking water. I'm glad we had this suggestion to have water.
Yeah. So okay.
So far, my favorite things are the ants. Those go down easy for me, and they I like the ting. That's
the zing in it.
Yeah, it's a zing. Absolutely. The ants have zing.
It's almost like if you eat it by itself, and it's almost like Pop Rocks. It just kind of like has so much like
So Joseph, I have a question.
Yeah.
How in the world
I'll take a chip.
Did you discover that you had this talent?
Yeah, a gift
for cooking insects. Well, how did you stumble upon that?
Well, I've had a lifelong love of cooking, and in my family, a lot. Well, like so many other cultures, we really share so much of our love with food. And so,
and your ethnic background is
I'm Korean American.
Okay.
And so much of my life has been like around the kitchen table, eating, and really my family, like just food and love is really synonymous.
Yeah, a lot of cultures.
And so as I got older, I just have had this love affair with food and a great respect for the whole process of where food comes from and a respect for food cultures. Because when I was younger, I remember when we were growing up, we did not eat kimchi, which is Korea's like really signature and probably one of the most famous staples, which is fermented Napa cabbage. That's spicy.
It is.
And it's like quite pungent. And so we, for many years when I grew up, did not eat it during weekdays because my parents were like, well, we don't want you guys and us to go out and smell like Korean food during the week.
A stigma.
Yeah.
Wow. I never thought about that.
And so we would eat on the weekends, and I would like just love eating it. And now that there's a more appreciation for Korean culture with like K-pop and K-dramas and Korean food. And
oh my God, we go all over Manhattan. Kimchi is everywhere.
Kimchi is everywhere.
Isn't that amazing?
And so that's part of changing mindsets and the cultural acceptance, which is part of what I'm also trying to do again with edible insects is how do we think about and start introducing this in manners that will allow people more opportunities to try it and have a better understanding of like what it is in recognizable food. So instead of like bringing you like a bowl full of
guacamole
ants or grasshoppers,
you add a little
I put
something.
it with
I think that's smart.
so we could eat it as
so
food,
did you start off cooking mostly like vegetables, fruit, like or meats?
Yeah. So when I found the UN's FAO report, I was like, wow, there's great purpose to this, but right now there's a really missing elements right now, because right now people are talking about the science behind it, but and there's really a void. Even though there are billions of people around the world that eat it regularly right now today, but there's still this great void. And so I was like, I want to try. And I instead of like calling myself an insect chef or something, I was like, the void is that we need someone to take more of an ambassador role. Yeah. And so I called myself an edible insect ambassador.
I love that.
And what I thought was important is that I don't need to hide my recipes. I don't need to like shun other chefs that want to learn things. I want to be a conduit to build a community.
Conduit, that is the key word.
To talk about and be a resource and work with people. And so that's really been a big part of what has, and not for nothing, when I started, I immediately started getting phone calls from a lot of love from my local media, like our local newspaper, the New York Times, and the NPR, all the local NY1 and all the local news channels came to my events. And so I was like, wow, they never called me to ask how I was cooking as a private chef. Wow. And so when I saw the opportunity to be a part of potentially transforming minds, 8 years ago, I had no idea where this would take me.
I love it.
And back then, I admittedly was probably better known for being a fun-loving party boy chef. And when I started working with universities and museums, and conferences, and now like being keynote speaker at these places, I realized, okay, this requires a change in who I am. Fundamentally, I am still at the core very genuine who I am. But it required a little shift for me to grow and to be able to respect the opportunity I have to literally share my work now on 6 continents. Travel over 500 days, funded primarily by universities. And so that just, it really just kept growing and growing, where I just would keep committing my life energy and my passion and really try to rediscover and think and really be able to think about this in such a understanding the complexity of this, and being like already like a really cerebral person. I just thought about like, what are ways that we can be part of this, and what are the most impactful, meaningful ways that we can engage with the world, given this platform and the opportunity to be able to share so much of my work.
Now, another question I have is, like, your recipes or the things that you did, were those you being experimental, or was it more learning from other cultures how they prepare these dishes, or a combination of the two?
A combination, but essentially every single dish that I've ever created that I love, or any dish that I try that I love, I think about how can I bugify it.
I love that, bugify it.
So for those that might wonder, like, how could I start eating insects, or what's like some ways to get started? It's like, instead of like starting with a new ingredient and a new dish and a new recipe, I just think about like, okay, what are some of my favorite dishes and how can I incorporate insects into it. And so that's how I've created like the hundreds of unique dishes and sauces and desserts. Don't forget, we have 3 desserts.
I'm looking at them over there.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I lost it. I just lost it.
We went from 3 desserts.
The desserts distracted me.
We love dessert on this show.
Yeah,
but I was going to ask you, you must be working on a cookbook for all this stuff, right?
Oh, I remember.
I am, yeah. I'm thankfully been working on my cookbook, and but it's much more than a cookbook because it requires a lot of like, why should people listen to me? Who the heck are you?
Who are you?
So it requires a lot of really introspective, very vulnerable, personal life sharing and philosophy, in addition to like, what the heck have I been doing on all these continents at all these schools, and what are people saying? And so it includes like a lot of storytelling and narratives.
I was going to say,
but you have the experiences. You have the exposure to this to bring to the table.
I look at you and I say, you are the bridge, okay? Because we hear about eating insects, and every now and then there'll be something that pops up with insects or whatever. There's been no continuity since I met you. It's your curiosity. You're a member of the Explorers Club. This is where you took it. Now, I believe you can use this to make the world a better place by what you can bring to the party. That's all any of us are trying to do. I mean, right?
Yeah.
That is actually you bring that. Thank you so much for.
It's okay. I'm eating everything.
That's very kind of you to say, and it's literally been a big part of my mission, is that with this opportunity to I've spoken for my largest audience this year at 1,300 people,
right?
And given this opportunity, it's like, not everyone needs to know all the nuances of edible insects at these big audiences. And so it gives me the opportunity to talk about what's the most meaningful thing for me. And it's really like, if we have the opportunity to find great purpose in our lives and find something that's more meaningful than just us, like step outside of your ego and what you are doing to something that's much bigger. And for me, that involves environmentalism, sustainability, health and nutrition. And literally, I'm getting ready to put something out about how the work I do with edible insects touches on all 17 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Wow. That's amazing.
And so with this, it's like when you find purpose and can do that, it will give you conviction to believe in what you're doing. And in doing so, a lecture that I gave last year at Cornell, I was at the Royal Planetary Solution Fellow at Cornell, and one of the responsibilities was to give a lecture for 250 first-year students. And the lecture I gave was on conquering fear. And
very appropriate with what you're doing.
Exactly, right. And so instead of talking all just about edible insects, to be able to come up with these ideas of how we can find purpose, have conviction, and be freaking fearless.
Well, and to move into that, effortlessly,
yeah. And so I've been very grateful that it's been very natural for me to go through this, and for a lot of my friends, when they see me on TV shows or giving my lecture, they're like, Joseph, we love that you're just still yourself. Like some of your like attitudes in life may have changed, like partying or stuff like, and also I'm older but they're like, the core of who you are that shines through. And I love that is, it's not like, oh, look at Joseph pretending on TV.
No, you are.
I could just be like so authentically myself.
Absolutely.
And talk about this. That's something that's been really
well. Your brand is totally you, and I love that.
It kind of is.
You're kind of like the Martha Stewart of the insect world. Who knows where this is going to go?
Hopefully I'll avoid the whole prison thing that she did. Yeah. But kudos on her for not ratting anyone. I'm going like, all right, I'll do my time.
She did her time.
She is the goat.
Right?
I mean, I love.
She walked in with her head held high.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Say there's people out there that want to start experimenting or trying with this. It's not like they should go to Central Park and start digging up some bugs and go fry them up.
No, because they have to be clean.
How would you recommend someone who might be curious to start moving in that direction?
Yeah. So I largely discourage people from foraging for it because what about the risk of pathogens, contaminants?
Right.
That's what
what is it? Insecticides
disrupting the ecosystem and who knows what all those things are. So for me, if you're interested, go to brickandbugs.com.
What is it? Wait,
Brooklyn Bugs.
Brooklynbugs.com, and we have it on the banner.
And that will I have a link in the store that has a 15% discount from my two main vendors, Thailand Unique and Three Cricketeers. And you can get
what is it called? Three
Cricketeers. Yeah. So they're a husband-wife team that's based in Minnesota, and they have a cricket farm there.
Wow.
And Thailand Unique, I just went and visited them in Udon Thani, in the northeastern region of Thailand.
Right.
And they have this massive factory. It's the world's largest edible insect factory that processes all these different insects. And it's just really
in Thailand.
I just happened to think. So what would that be? It's not vegan. It would not be like if you eat insects.
So
but
technically, they are in the animal kingdom.
Okay.
So they're technically not vegetarian.
Would it be carnivore?
Although a lot of vegetarians have been eating my insect dishes because it's sustainable. If you're vegetarian for sustainable reasons, a lot of people will still eat it.
Yeah.
If you're doing it for the sanctity of their life, then maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to say that maybe then you're ento is the Greek derivative of insects, ento. So I would say entotarian. Or insectivore.
I've heard that.
Or a bug eater. I mean, you could do one.
You're a bug eater, Tym Moss.
Yeah,
I am today.
Yeah.
Is that dessert?
Let's bring one of those over.
Yeah,
you could pick which one, or maybe we just bring.
I like this way. Yeah, bring them both over.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start with this one. We'll save that one for a little while. So show everybody.
So what we have is a pumpkin spice cricket bread.
Oh my goodness!
With a pumpkin spice glaze, and
beautiful. Looks
so,
yummy.
Yeah. So let's
dig in. Bon appetit.
Okay.
Bug appetit.
Bug appetit.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Very good.
Oh, that's interesting. Because you got the pumpkin spice bread, but yet there's a different flavor to it.
It's a different flavor.
Give it a little smell, because you will smell a lot of pumpkin spice, but there's a nuance that's in there if you were to smell just the regular pumpkin spice.
Yeah, I would need the basis of comparison. Right. What is very interesting psychologically on this, what you expect, the pumpkin-y and the things that we're used to, we can taste it, we can smell it or whatever. There's something a little different, but if Joseph didn't tell me that the crickets were in there, I wouldn't know.
Absolutely.
I have to say, what is interesting that he's done today, when I've had some of his dishes, I was at an event that Justin Fornell from Discovery gave, and we had roadkill that night, but Joseph also did some beautiful bug dishes. And I went to the very end of the food station because it was too much roadkill. I was flipping out a little bit, and I saw this gorgeous salad, and it had spinach in it, and it had mandarin oranges in it, and some kind of dressing on it. And I'm like, oh yeah, please heap it on my plate. And the person said, well, there's cicadas in this. And as he put it on my plate, out came Mr. Cicada. And I was just they're not small.
No, right.
And they have wings. And it was that psychological thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it. But the minute that wing hit the roof of my mouth, I couldn't do it.
Interesting. That cicada. I'm trying to think which it might have been grasshoppers in that dish, because the cicada dish was a tempura batter cicada. So it was like super a very delicate, crispy.
It was crispy.
Cricket tempura batter that I make. obviously I
Wow.
add cricket powder to my tempura.
Obviously, who doesn't?
Yeah, right.
Everybody does.
I mean, everyone should be doing
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
really.
And so it's like a really beautiful and crunchy. So if you ate the cicada, it really should have been a really delicate yet beautiful, crispy.
Maybe it was psychologically what was going on in my head.
And a lot of it is very psychological.
Well, you had this is what I want to ask you about, like larva. I know you serve it up.
Yeah, totally.
I can't even handle it. You know, it's again.
Well, is that the texture?
It's like the oyster, right?
Yeah.
You're so smart, Tim.
I
It's
don't
like
think it's a texture. I think it's the idea that it's like looks like a worm.
That could be
right,
too.
but it feels bouncy in my mouth, and I don't like that feeling.
Well, I mean, because there's so many different textures with the larvae and with the different.
It was some larvae dish you made that I was trying.
And you know what? I love that. Like, I did not guilt you. I did not make you feel bad.
You don't.
And like, I think it's like really important. And like, one of the things I also love to share with people is that I don't need you to like my food or like just say you like it, because it's so much bigger than me.
I love that you're saying that.
It's
right.
So,
right.
Like this idea
Right, exactly.
that I'm working with is so much bigger.
Yeah, it really is.
So it's like I will not pressure you to eat something. I won't guilt you or try to shame
but
you.
It's here.
But yeah, it's here. And because if we went with a didactic route, like the world's going to end, climate change, we must eat it. Think about how like
you're going to turn everybody off with that.
You'll turn so many people off. But for us to be able to like do it in a manner that's like fun, engaging, inclusive.
I agree with you.
With the option for people to make their own decision.
Absolutely.
And so that's a big part of the philosophy.
Now, can you share with everybody the nutritional value?
Oh, thanks for asking about that, because
there is advantages to this.
So a caveat to this is that there are over 2,000 species, and the manner in which they are reared, what they're fed, and how they're processed is going to affect their nutritional value. So with that being said, using crickets as the gateway bug, as like kind of like the big bug that's like,
I love gateway bugs. Crickets are the gateway bugs.
Those crickets will pull you in.
So with the crickets, they are anywhere from 50 to 80% protein by weight, depending on like again how it's prepared. They have a ton of micronutrients, from vitamin B12 to magnesium to calcium and potassium. They're low in fat, and it also is proving to be incredibly beneficial for our prebiotic gut health. And for people,
that's a whole other thing.
It sounds like a whole
other topic.
Sounds like a superfood.
Yeah, it is a superfood. And for people that are like, oh, well, chitin is indigestible, so we can't eat it. Okay, so if we break down this statement, chitin is I
don't know what chitin is.
Chitin is the part what's in the exoskeleton.
Oh, the exoskeleton.
Part of, and also in the shells of shellfish and everything. So it's a protein. And the thing that's like needs to be understood is like, okay, so yeah, we might not be able to digest the chitin, but you know what does is the bacteria and stuff that's in our guts. That's why it's prebiotic gut health.
Okay.
And so it's so incredibly beneficial for our gut health to be eating it. And so it just takes a little bit of knowledge. And sometimes people just like take some like really topical idea and go like, oh, wow, but it's like and chitin is also like in like mushrooms and a lot of other different foods as well.
That we were already eating.
That we're already eating.
That we're already eating.
Well,
okay, here it comes.
Okay, okay, so we have
gorgeous
two last bites here. One is another pumpkin spice, because it's like just in season. With,
it's that time of year. Let's have a little pumpkin.
So it's a pumpkin cricket white chocolate cookie.
Oh, yum.
And so this with a little bit more of the spice glaze. And the other one is a cricket is like a cricket chew that's like been dipped in chocolate.
So we have two different things.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the cookies and these are the chews. Yeah.
Okay. And the chocolate topped is the
those are the chews. Yeah.
Okay. So we're having the cookies first.
Yeah. This one's like very similar to because it's like pumpkin spice. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Enjoy.
Bon appetit.
And this one has whole crickets as well. So if you
Oh, it's crunchy.
I think I'm okay with the crickets. I think I was choking
Really
before
good.
because the grasshopper went down the wrong pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I wasn't used to eating. That's why I asked you what happened on the
Cheers,
legs.
good.
Right.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, you have to be mindful of chewing. This is very good.
This is really good.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you guys are willing to try all the different things.
Absolutely.
We're those type of people in life. We'll try anything.
We're adventurous.
I'll try. Yeah, no, I will second that. And
yeah,
I do want to
feel
say
the cricket in there. On this one, a little bit. Yeah, that was very
cool. You felt the cricket on the one you got. What did it feel like, Tim?
It felt like a cricket.
If you didn't know, you might have thought it was a nut.
Exactly.
Right. If you didn't know, right.
Yeah.
I think
it's not out of the ordinary.
Right. It's not
texture, Yeah.
The texture. This is really good.
That was.
All right. I'm now having these. These are
all right. That's a chew. And so it's going to be a little chewy, and it's like the base is made with like a meringue sort of thing, but it's not a meringue, but it's like kind of has that. That's like how I got that chewy texture on that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if Steve's going to want to try this because I only bought 3 of these.
Let's save.
I'll save that one because I've already.
For people watching, Stephen Shanigan is one of the owners of Pangea, where we do our show from every week, and we want to save some of this for him.
And this was cricket in here.
Yeah, crickets. Yeah,
and this is crickets.
And this one has white chocolate as well. Yeah.
Oh my God,
this is really good.
Thank you. And
oh my goodness.
I just love that, like in a very short period of time. So we spoke yesterday, Wendy, and you're like, are you going to bring food? And I wasn't sure because I knew I was going to bring something, but when you were like kind of encouraging me, like, hey, bring food.
Then
I was like, all right, let me see what I could pull together. And so I'm glad I was able to bring like a pretty diverse range of food for you guys to try.
It's all really tasty.
Yeah. And obviously if we had like a heat source and I had an oven or so, then I could prepare like more food. But this is all just like kind of like, hey, let's just set out some food that doesn't require any heat or anything. So
and it's delicious, absolutely delicious. So I'm curious with, you know, because you've really put your name out there everywhere. You're very much in demand with what you're doing. Has anyone reached out to you about doing like private events for them, parties where insects are served?
Yes. They have, but I because of the demand of my work, a lot of times I've largely been focusing on my university and museum events as I
that's important because that's educating people.
And but under the right circumstances. But there's something new that I'm going to be starting shortly before the end of the year, which is I'm going to relaunch my Patreon page. Because one of the things that I found is lacking is a community. Because if you guys are like, we tried eating bugs, like now what?
Yeah, right.
And so I want to be able to provide a community where people can like kind of have, and it's going to start with like a $1, $3, $5 level, but it's also going to offer like an opportunity to be a title sponsor for expeditions at a much higher level monthly. But and then having like there's one tier where you could be a part where I'll customize a recipe for you every quarter. So you tell them, so we'll be on an interview. I'll be like, Tim, who do you want to cook for? What's your favorite dish? What do you want to do? And so I'm getting really creative, and we're going to have like forums and people can vote on like what dish they want to learn to make for the quarterly dish as well. And so that's like something that I'm trying to do to like try to build a bigger community so that people don't feel alone if they just buy some bugs off my website and don't know what to do with it. Yeah,
now certain bugs, they can replace like maybe certain meats or something, you know, with recipes.
Yeah.
Substitutions. Bug substitutions.
Like,
so this is going back to the health and nutrition substitutions that you're asking about. 2 tablespoons of cricket powder can have 15 to 20 grams of protein.
Right, that's a lot.
Wow. So, and like for an adult, like typically you're going to be trying to get about 30 grams of protein for lunch, maybe a little bit more. And so 4 tablespoons of cricket powder in your smoothie for breakfast, or maybe in your lunch if you're having a soup or something. And so it's really easy to get the protein that you need through a vegetarian diet that's bolstered by insect protein.
Mm-hmm.
That's an actual really good point, because a lot of vegetarians, friends of mine, they really have to work to get their protein, because it's just not easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like me growing up in the Midwest, I was brought up meat and potatoes.
Yeah, corn-fed white.
And trying to undo that conditioning and introduce other forms of nutrition. Mm-hmm. That's quite an undertaking to educate people today.
I've had the great fortune to work with a lot of Midwest universities. And when I talk about alternative protein and insects, sometimes the kids will be like, what do I tell my parents? We come from like 3-4 generations of cattle farming.
Right.
So like, and I'm like, this is not mutually exclusive of one another.
Right.
I'm not trying to take away something from you. I'm trying to add something to your diet, to diversify your diet, give you different options. And so that's a really important thing. But while I was at Montana State University, one of the professors, her husband, we were all eating dinner talking about it. He was like, actually, when I was growing up, I remember we would turn over the logs and there'd be these like massive larvae that we would eat.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked shocked. She's like, "Oh, you never told me that.
You never told me about the larvae."
And what was interesting is that when digging a little deeper into the why, and there was a great sense of shame with them growing up. And I think this was in like the, but I think it was like in the 70s when he was like eating the larvae. Is that it was for them. They were a little poor, and they were eating it, and they were ashamed that they were eating.
There's shame and guilt attached,
and so we're already seeing that, and so this is all part of like as I travel and try to understand and ask questions and listen. Is like there are a lot more people out there that have eaten insects, even here in America, that just have not been talking about it.
Right. They're closeted insect eaters.
For all of the closet bug eaters
out there, time to come out of the closet.
Time to come out.
We've got your back.
Do you ever have like a salad with like grasshopper and or like raw? Do you ever serve raw?
No. It's always cooked. But I do make a salad, and then I would make a cricket or black ant or a vinaigrette. So I would make the emulsion with like the Dijon mustard, the balsamic vinegar, cricket powder, garlic, and then slowly start whisking in the oil. And so it adds flavor, adds nutrition.
So it's kind of hiding the insects.
But then I would, for those that want it, I will put on kind of like croutons, some crispy flavored crickets on top.
Crickets on top,
there we go.
Cricket croutons.
See, now after eating this, I would try that. I would totally try that.
Right.
So, Tim, you would also love, Joseph served a grasshopper mojito.
Wow.
That night you did have cicada dishes at the Explorers Club. There was a cicada dish. I had that. And I washed it down with the grasshopper mojito, and it was really good.
That mojito, I believe, was like a collaboration where they were doing something, I was doing something, so it kind of started.
But how cool! What a great way to get your protein.
Yeah.
Well, in a mojito.
It's not always that when you're eating that it's all just about health. Just because they are healthy doesn't mean we can't eat it in dessert and like
This was so great. We have a couple of comments.
I'm not sure if I can see
today. I have my glasses on, Tim. If you can scroll. We have a bunch. Suze, hello, Suze, a wonderful designer friend. This is Denvetta, my makeup artist friend who I love. This is fascinating, but I had to laugh at you guys talking about tarantula like it's
meatloaf on Wednesday.
I love that. Hope Claudia from Germany.
She's from Germany.
Hi.
It's
all about
what we are used to.
Yes,
she's one of our favorites. We love her.
I have to say, she attended free online course at Yale.
Of course she did.
The psychology, biology, and politics of food. We can feed all the world with what your guest expertise.
Wow.
And this
and this
that
is
is what
also.
I think. we need to have global acceptance and ambassadors for conquering new food
varieties. Absolutely,
yes,
Thank you for
and I love
comments.
you've already had exposure to this.
I want to steal the shirt off Joseph Yoon. I don't mind people ripping off my shirt, but this one is a special one. So, this one
and you look gorgeous, Wendy and Tim.
Of course they do.
Oh, of course,
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Hold on there. Wait, go back.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
there's the food looks yummy, and then there's another and. Yeah, what is that? We need audio
recipes for this inclusive kitchen, so we can listen while it's cooking. So this will be part of what the
I love that.
She's
so fabulous.
Yeah. And so
she's so fabulous.
That's kind of the idea
and
with that. Yeah.
Mr. Starfest just got here. I was in yoga class.
Okay.
I don't know who that is. Oh, that is my amazing friend Prince Fleet Easton, celebrity extraordinaire out of Palm Springs.
Hey.
Calls me his Aunt Lucy. Here in Palm Springs, we have an excess of crickets that get in our houses. Now I know what to do with them. You see, Prince.
They can end up in your soup.
There you go. Practical applications. That's what we're all about here on If These Walls Could Talk. You have been as delightful as I expected.
Wonderful.
You and I love getting your word out, because here's what I believe as you do. If we are going as human beings to evolve and share amazing things, which is what it's all about, one really good way to do it is just by getting out there, talking about it. You know, when you're talking at universities, if you're up in Thailand and people are already eating insects there, you're getting knowledge, but you'd be preaching to the converted, as we say. When you go around this country and you can share this with the students.
Unfortunately, that's not the case. I don't know how much time we have.
We
I
have
could do
much as you
can. Okay, I could do it briefly though. But in Thailand, very sadly, they're losing touch with the culture.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because of globalization. And the kids are seeing like, oh, no one on my TV that shows and movies that I'm watching, they're not eating insects.
Oh my goodness.
So let's eat this like processed,
let's eat McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's a big part of my work is like, okay, how do we bring dignity and respect to this?
I love it.
Practice?
Right. I love it.
And be part, and also as the industry is burgeoning in Anglo-Western cultures, because it is a multi-billion-dollar industry right now.
Right.
But all the indigenous voices and groups that have long been doing this are not a part of that business
because they're dying off, and it's not going down to their kids.
How do we create a seat at the table for the people with this ancient practice? And what I think is that they are part of unlocking the ancient future.
Right.
Yes.
What can we look at to the past in the ancient that has occurred that can help us solve problems in the future?
And it's all.
And how do we pay respect to these ancient practices and learn from it, instead of like just destroying their land and way of life
and continue growing as humans? Yeah, you know,
exactly,
right, and continue growing. It's interesting because tattooing, right? Like when I was growing up, like bikers did it or whatever. Now, all of these, like my daughter, who's in her early 30s, says all of these girls, in Brooklyn, they don't even know the meaning of a tattoo, and it's true,
right?
But I've spent time with tribal cultures where they're completely body painted all the time, as they have been.
But there is a reason for that.
But for hundreds of years. But the fact that tattooing has caught on to the degree that it has, I can go to any club in Brooklyn and people are tattooed from head to toe. I'm thinking, with you being the insect ambassador, you can be that person to bring the change, to take the word of what you're doing and get it out there. You could be the one. It's just, you know what? It's just going to take this to catch on.
Right.
Yeah.
And you also need a couple bug tattoos.
And you need some bug tattoos.
I have virgin skin, but I am open. And I'm hoping to get my first tattoo actually sometime.
And one more suggestion. You could, if you can find out someone to make these kinds of shirts.
This is great.
You could sell these on your website like hotcakes.
You know what? You are so right.
Yeah. I'm all about that.
Good merchandise. Good merchandise.
Tim, right? We would buy them in a heartbeat.
But I was just going to say that coming into this, I have to admit that I was a little nervous about tasting this, but it's all been wonderful. It's all been great.
It's been wonderful.
If people just tried these.
And I didn't give Tim any backstory other than I said, I've got somebody from the Explorers Club coming
and we're
on.
eating bugs.
Right. And we're going to be eating bugs next week. But I didn't call him this week or text him anything or make nice on him because I wanted it to be like a fresh, new, oh my God, this is so amazing experience.
Yeah, and it was.
You know?
Well, I have to say, I'm really grateful for you guys having me because you guys have, for everywhere that I go, there's a different audience. Of course. The different hosts like have different things to share or like the different perspectives. And each one of these opportunities allows for me to be able to like reach different people and engage. And so I'm very grateful to be able to share a little bit of my work and passion and worldview and edible insects with you guys and your peoples. Yeah.
Well, you're my favorite bug boy.
Oh, thank you. What? Real quick, what do you have coming up next?
So I'm currently booking 2026, and so I'm talking to a lot of really great universities and museums right now. And I'm also planning a couple expeditions.
Sweet.
I very sadly not returned to the Sariaku antenna in the Amazon.
Right. I never even got into that.
And so I really want to be able to return next year. So I'm planning an expedition, which will be open if people are interested in joining the expedition.
Wonderful.
Will there be a toilet? It's so important to me. I ask that question.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
the most part.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Also planning a return to Thailand with like the different people that I've worked with there. But really finishing my book, launching the Patreon, and really just being present.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of times
hard.
A lot of times showing up is like such a big thing.
Absolutely.
And to all the people out there that may be going through things, I want them to feel seen. And so much of where I travel, a lot of times people just when we get together, even amongst our friends, and like everyone's talking at the dinner table and you can't, we all just want to be seen. And that's really such a big part of what I try to do everywhere I go. Is you guys probably can sense I'm loquacious, I love talking, but even more I love listening. And so I love to be able to develop these relationships with people and listen and show just like how much they can be seen and how much that we can share this caring and love for each other. And
important.
So
that's a very beautiful quality.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Important. Thank you. Yeah. And with that,
we need people the world and energy like that.
Love like Absolutely. That. And with that said, thank you everybody who tuned in today. We will be on hiatus. I love saying that word for 2 weeks, and we'll be back, of course, in the new year, 2026. Be loving, be kind, live your best life, no matter what's going on in the world. That's the most any of us can do. Thank you for tuning in today.
And have a wonderful holiday season.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.